Welcome back to the AI Point channel. In this video, I will discuss how to implement an AI-driven workflow for content creation. In today's fast-paced digital landscape, the demand for engaging video content is increasing. Audiences prefer videos because video content is easier to engage with while people are commuting, multitasking, or seeking a quick way to spend their time and absorb information. Traditionally, producing high-quality video content requires extensive time and resources, often leaving businesses reliant on text-based content. However, with the power of AI, we can revolutionize this process. Imagine automating the creation of the videos that combine images, voiceovers, and summarized text, all based on your initial content to engage your audience effectively. This approach not only saves time and reduces costs, but also enables your business to pivot from traditional content to dynamic, image-based videos that capture attention and convey messages effectively. Today, I'll show you how this AI-driven workflow can transform your content strategy by automating the generation of relevant images, summarizing text, and producing natural-sounding voiceovers, all while enabling your data privacy with an enhanced solution. This isn't just about creating content faster. It is about embracing a digital transformation that positions your business to thrive in a visual-centric world. Alright, in this video, I'm walking you through an automated content generation workflow using AWS services and Amazon Bedrock foundation models. This serverless architecture allows you to create content by just dropping a file to a S3 bucket. Then it will generate images and voiceover based on the content that you return. Then it will generate a video based on all the images and the voiceover. Now let's have a look at how things works here. Basically, if you look at the technical architecture here, you drop your text files or document files to the S3 bucket that trigger a workflow, which is a combination of summarizing the text, generating image, generating voiceover, and generating video. And that workflow creates the new content for you. So if you look at all the different steps, in the text extractor, I use Amazon Bedrock foundation models Titan Text Premier for summarizing the text, and I used Amazon Titan Generator through Amazon Bedrock for generating images. I use Amazon Poly for generating voiceover, and I use AWS Element Media Convert for generating videos. Now let's have a look at how each part works basically. First, we have S3 bucket. This is the structure of my S3 bucket: audio files, documents, images, and videos. So we can go through each. So these are text files that I have. So you just send that text file, which could be your blog post, your newsletter, and so on. Then it will generate all the images and videos and voiceovers based on your content, right? If I go to the properties sections of the S3 bucket, I created an event notification, which allow me to basically trigger the workflow, right? So this one is based on the directory docs. So whenever that user upload a file, it will trigger the workflow. And I checked on creating the content. Basically, when you put or copy something, new files to the S3 bucket, it will get triggered. And then for triggering that, it will trigger the Lambda function workflow starter. Now let's have a look at what workflow starter does. Workflow starter gets triggered by the S3 event notification right here. So as you can see here, it gets the details of the bucket and the path through the event, and then it will trigger the step functions, the workflow that we defined here. For doing that, you need to make sure that your Lambda function role, which is defined here, you can access that through the configuration permission section. Your Lambda execution role has the right permission to call the step function, right? So you need to make sure that you set this permission for your Lambda function. Now we go to the step function that we have. Here is my step function. So it has multiple steps: text extractor, text to image, voiceover generator, and video generator. Here is the definition. So this is how it gets connected to the function, to each function. You can have a look at here. on the right hand side, and then the voiceover, and then video generator, right? All right, now let's go to each function one by one. But before we go to that, so you just can basically add any Lambda function by dragging the elements from the left hand side, right? Once you do that, basically new permission is given to the step function execution role, which it allows the step function to call different Lambda functions that we added in the diagram, right? So it will be automatically added. So you need to look at this section to make sure that the step function has the right access. Now let's go to the text extractor function. For the text extractor function, as you can see here, it will receive the bucket name and then the path to the file for the content that you uploaded to the S3 bucket. Then it uses the foundation model to the Amazon Bedrock, and this is the prompt that we're going to send to the foundation model. Summarize the following text. This is the text, which is the content of the blog post we have. This is the content that I'm using for this example. It's a content for traveling to Sydney. So basically the function download the file from S3 and then extract the text from the file and put it in a temporary file in Lambda, and then send that content to the foundation model for summarizing. So basically the way that we invoke the model is always the same, but the request body might be different and the response could be different as well. So the response is going to be in this format. So it's going to be in a results, then 0 output text, which is give us the summarized text, right? And we use that to send it to the next step of the workflow. This is here how we could see different steps of the workflow that is running. So this one, the last one that I was running, and it was successful. So you can see the steps here. So we complete that one. Now the next one is the text to image invoke. So we finished that one. We discussed about this one. In particular for this one, because I'm using the Amazon Bedrock, so we need to make sure that again, it has the right access to invoke the foundation model through Amazon Bedrock. So you just go access to the role here. We can see the role here as well. So the configuration for the role and the permission that I gave, so it's specific for that foundation model. I give this Lambda function a specific access to a specific foundation model. That's very important, right? We're following the principle of least privilege, right? So the next step is text to image generator. So if we go to the function here, it gets the content from the event and then prepare the request body for the image. We needed to say that how many images we want, what's the text that we are passing to the basically foundation model, and what's the widths and heights that we are considering for the images that gets generated, right? In the invoke model, we set the foundation model that we are using here. So you need to get access to the foundation models before doing that. I'll show you that in a minute. So then you get the response once you send the request, and the response body contain the images, right? And then once we got the images, we write the images to the S3 bucket. That's how we're writing the images to the S3 bucket with the put object to the S3 client object from the Boto3 and AWS SDK. Again, for this function, you need to make sure that your role, execution role, has the right access. If you go and check that the same role here, we're giving that access to the Amazon Titan image generator version 2 to access to that and invoke that model, right? For the foundation models, you can come to Amazon Bedrock base models here and request access. In different regions, there are different number of foundation models available. For example, if I switch to Sydney region, the number of the models are quite limited, less than maybe 10 models are available, which is not good. That's why I'm using the US East one. At this time that I'm recording this video, there are not many available in App South East 2. All right, now we go back to the workflow. Here we're looking at the voiceover generator. Now here is the voiceover generator. This function here uses Amazon polling. It gets the text from the event, then call the Amazon Polly synthesize speech. It gives the text, the format of the output, and then the voice ID. I use Journal, so you can use different voice ID. You need to check out what voice ID are available for Amazon Polly, right? Once it received the response, it writes the audio file to the S3 bucket. Basically, here how we usually write to the S3 bucket using input object. For this function, I needed to access to the Amazon Polly. For doing that, again, you need to give the right access to the Lambda execution role. So I gave the access of the Polly synthesized speech access to this Lambda function. The next step is video generator. Now let's have a look at the video generator function. The video generator function basically gets the images from S3, the voiceover file from S3, and then combine all of that and generate a new video. For doing that, if you go back to the diagram, you can see that I use AWS Element Media Convert, right? For using this service, we need to create a job to generate a video. So in the Lambda function, I use Media Convert role, which is an important role that we create. So I have that here. I created this IAM role. It's a Media Convert role. So here I created a Media Convert role, which is responsible for reading and writing from S3, reading the images and voiceover file and writing the video that is generated, right? That's important role that we create. And we use that as the environment variable for the Lambda function, right? So here, if we have the role, we have the S3 bucket and the path. And now here it's creating a job. It's creating a request for creating the video, right? In the create video function, I use get media convert endpoint. The get media convert endpoint, it uses the Boto3 client for media convert and create an endpoint based on the AWS Element Media Convert service, right? And then send the URL back to the create video. It uses that, and then it gets all the images from the S3 bucket. As you can see, here is the function for reading all the images from the S3 bucket. Using list object, it reads all the images from the file and loading to an array of images. And then once we have the images, creating the configuration for insertable images here, which say that how the image gets created, for how long. For example, every 5 seconds the images gets changed and etc. What would be the width and etc. So here is the job settings. So it's creating the job settings for video generation. It put the audio file from the S3 bucket, then attaching all the images and some configuration for the video generation. Here, that's how it works. And then it creates the job basically. Once it's created a job gets created on the AWS Element Media Convert. If I go to this job, here is the details. I can see the details here. So it shows that basically what's the input file, which is the audio file. Here is the image insertable. So all the images that is in the S3 bucket gets attached to this video generation task, and then it can generate the video. If you back to the video generator function, here we need to make sure that our execution role has the right access. So you can see that here I gave the access custom media convert access for accessing to the media convert job, accessing to S3 bucket, have the pass role to the media convert role as well. That's how this flow works. Once the video gets generated, it will be stored on the S3 bucket and it can be downloaded as well later on. For all of these functions and workflows, you can access the logs file through the CloudWatch as well. So you just need to go to the right log groups and then find out basically your Lambda functions log file. Or you go to the monitor section on your Lambda function and click on the CloudWatch log and basically access your log files. Basically, I drop the text file here in the S3 bucket. Then that workflow gets automatically triggered and the whole content gets generated. All the images, the voiceover, and the video. So here are the samples of the files that I downloaded from the S3 bucket. They all get generated. The beautiful things about this is that not only you can use that video for your blog post, but you can also use all these images for your blog post as well, or your article, or your marketing or an ad campaign. The good thing is that it saves a lot of time of you instead of searching and downloading and getting all these things yourself.
The writer has always been eager to visit Sydney, a city renowned for its beauty, cultural diversity, and thriving arts and entertainment.
If you like this video, please subscribe and share this video with anyone who might be interested in this video, and get in touch through our website if you need any assistance.